today's Christmas list, we're wrapping up the Santa Claus reviews with the second and I assume the final season of the Santa Clauses. And where's about Scott Calvin now wants his son Calvin to be the new Santa, but he refused to after Riley broke up with him, and I don't think he really wants to be Santa, though I feel like he and Scott Calvin is okay with that since feel like he needs to do what he wants to do and not what Scott wants him to do. Um, but most importantly, a 7th century-year-old Santa Claus named Magnus Antus or Mad Santa is coming to the 21st to modern day after being freed from the Nutcracker he was trapped in for a long time. And at first he has a funny time with at the Santopolis with Chris, but then later he decides to go to the North Pole to attack Scott Calvin and take over the North Pole. And also Betty moved to New York, but then moved back to North Pole after seeing the news about that Mad Santa and his gnome Olga are back. And I thought, while I prefer season 1 over this, I think it's still a lot of fun. I thought the plot of this was kind of fun as well. It's physically with Mad Santa being a hilarious villain. I really enjoy his voice and his energy he gives, and the sense of humor he gives, whether or not he's aware of it. I thought his motivations were really good, and when he tells Scott about Calvin, about how he tells him that Scott needs to let Calvin do what he wants to do and not what Scott wants him to do. Thought that was a pretty interesting scene, and when he decides to redeem himself after being defeated by oh yeah, I forgot also a big plot point to the season that Sandra, the daughter, uses her witch powers because throughout the season she starting to experience more with her powers, and she gets the help with the witch, where she felt she's becoming a witch, and she tries to learn how to use her powers. And I thought that was a pretty interesting character arc. Where at first we saw her talk to animals, but now she's starting to become a witch. Using her ability to stop Mad Santa and bring back Calvin, Buddy as human after being transformed into a Nutcracker by Mad Santa was awesome. And I thought the backstory of a Betty and Noel being all the way in 1307, well, not surprising since it was established they existed 1,000 years ago. It's still an interesting backstory to know what they were like in the past and how they evolved to modern day, where they don't like Mad Santa, nor do the gnomes, and they consider Scott Calvin to be their ultimate Santa. And I thought the relationship between the two was actually kind of well developed, especially when at the end, they go to New York. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought Olga was funny for scenes, and Chris was okay. He was okay. And I thought the way the season ended with Matt Santa and Chris having a excuse me, singing the Santa's Coming to Town song was hilarious. And when Santa, Miss Claus, Buddy, and Sandra go to her sleigh and say Merry Christmas and breaks the fourth wall saying Merry Christmas to you. Okay, that was awesome. That's the perfect way to end this show. I really love that, how they did that. So overall, I thought the Santa Claus season 2 was a great addition to Santa Claus's franchise. I really had a decent time with it, and that's the end of the Santa Claus review. So tomorrow, you're on my wish list, uh, and we'll be talking nonsense. And Merry Christmas, Tim Allen.